You've packed your bags, got your boarding pass, and are ready for takeoff. But before you step onto that plane, have you ever considered what isn't allowed on board? Beyond the obvious weapons and explosives, there's a surprising list of everyday items that are strictly prohibited, either in your carry-on or even checked luggage. And the reasons often go far beyond what you'd expect. Welcome back to Fly Global, your definitive guide to understanding the unseen rules and surprising realities of air travel. Before we start, let us know, what is your most frequent travel route? Today, we're revealing 13 common things that are banned on planes, and more importantly, the reasons why. So double-check your bags, because after this, you'll be packing with a whole new level of awareness. Number 1. Loose lithium-ion batteries. Those powerful lithium-ion batteries found in laptops, power banks, and even some smart bags are fantastic for portable power. But on a plane, if they're loose or in checked luggage, they become a serious fire hazard. They can short-circuit and rapidly overheat, leading to thermal runaway, which is a very intense, hard-to-extinguish fire. Mark, 45, flying from Tokyo to San Francisco, recalled an announcement after landing. They found a smoking power bank in someone's checked bag, he said, shaking his head. The crew emphasized why these must always be in your carry-on. The Federal Aviation Administration and international aviation bodies strictly prohibit loose lithium-ion batteries in checked baggage. They must be carried in the cabin, where any potential thermal event can be immediately spotted and addressed by the flight crew. Airlines like Delta and Lufthansa frequently remind passengers of this critical safety rule. Number 2. Self-defense sprays. Carrying a small canister of self-defense spray for personal security might seem like a smart idea, but it's completely banned from both carry-on and checked luggage on a plane. The reason is simple. These sprays contain irritant chemicals that, if accidentally discharged in a confined cabin, could incapacitate passengers and crew, leading to a dangerous emergency. Mary, 32, heading to New York for a solo trip, had her small pepper spray confiscated at TSA. "I completely forgot it was in my bag," she confessed. The agent explained it could cause a huge problem if it went off mid-flight. "I felt pretty silly, but understood." While some countries permit certain types of pepper spray for personal use, aviation security regulations universally prohibit them due to the risk of accidental discharge and subsequent cabin contamination. The TSA specifically lists them as prohibited items in all baggage. Number 3. Mercury thermometers. You might still have one of these old-school thermometers in your first aid kit, but liquid mercury thermometers are a major no-go on planes for a very specific reason. Mercury is a corrosive substance that can severely damage aluminum aircraft structures if it leaks. Even a small amount can compromise the integrity of the plane over time. David, 68, a retired chemistry teacher, had his vintage mercury thermometer flagged at security. The agent explained how corrosive mercury is to aluminum, he recalled. "It made perfect sense why they'd ban it. Now I travel with digital ones." The Federal Aviation Administration and Department of Transportation classify mercury as a hazardous material due to its highly corrosive nature when it comes into contact with aluminum, the primary material for aircraft construction. This ban applies to both carry-on and checked baggage, making digital thermometers the only safe option for air travel. Number 4. Certain sports equipment. Planning to bring your favorite baseball bat or a full set of golf clubs? While golf clubs can be checked, items like baseball bats, hockey sticks, and even certain martial arts weapons are strictly banned from carry-on luggage. The reasoning is clear. They can easily be used as blunt weapons in a cabin emergency or security incident. Chris, 22, a college baseball player, learned this the hard way when his bat was confiscated at the security checkpoint. "I just assumed I could carry it on," he said. "They told me it was a potential weapon. Had to check it, which was a hassle." The TSA's guidelines categorize items that could be used as bludgeons or clubs as prohibited in carry-on bags. This includes items such as baseball bats, hockey sticks, cricket bats, and martial arts weapons. While many of these can be transported as checked baggage, often with oversized item fees, their potential as a weapon in a confined space dictates their ban from the cabin. Number 5. Large liquids, gels, and aerosols. This one is a classic, but the why is often misunderstood. The 311 rule isn't just arbitrary. It was implemented globally after a 2006 plot to detonate liquid explosives disguised as beverages. Limiting the volume of liquids dramatically reduces the threat potential, even though the specific chemicals used in that plot are now detectable. Linda, 55, flying to a family reunion, constantly forgets her oversized shampoo. Every single time I have to toss my big bottle of conditioner, she sighed. My husband always reminds me it's because of those liquid bombs from years ago. The TSA's 311 rule applies to carry-on baggage. Containers must be 3.4 ounces, 100 milliliters, or smaller, fit into one quart-sized bag, and be limited to one bag per passenger. While exceptions exist for medically necessary liquids and infant formula, this pervasive rule remains a cornerstone of aviation security worldwide, reflecting ongoing threats from liquid explosives. Number 6. Aerosol cans, with certain exceptions. While small, personal care aerosols like deodorant are usually fine, larger aerosol cans, particularly those with flammable contents or significant pressure, are generally banned from both carry-on and checked luggage. This includes things like spray paint, certain cleaning sprays, or even some camping stove fuel. The risk? Pressure changes during flight could cause them to rupture or leak, creating fire or toxic fume hazards. John, 40, had his spray paint can for a hobby project confiscated at the airport. I didn't even think about it being an aerosol, he admitted. The agent explained the fire risk. Definitely won't make that mistake again. The DOT and FAA regulate aerosols due to their potential for flammability or rupture under varying cabin pressures. While common toiletries in limited quantities, like hairspray, are permitted under the 311 rule, flammable aerosols, e.g., spray paint, oven cleaner, or those with significant volumes are universally prohibited. Number 7. Portable oxygen concentrators, without prior approval. For passengers with medical needs, a portable oxygen concentrator, POC, is vital. However, you can't just show up with one. These devices are tightly regulated and require prior approval from the airline, often with specific battery requirements and medical documentation. This ensures compatibility with the aircraft's power systems and sufficient battery life for the entire journey, preventing mid-flight medical emergencies. Clara, 78, a regular traveler with a POC, always calls her airline weeks in advance. My daughter helped me set it up. You absolutely have to get approval, she stressed. They check the model number and everything. It's for my safety and everyone else's. Airlines typically require a minimum of 48 hours notice before travel with a POC to verify the device's approval for flight, ensure adequate battery supply, typically 150% of flight time, and confirm necessary medical documentation. Airlines like American and United list approved POC models on their websites. This strict protocol is in place to manage power supply, cabin space, and emergency medical needs during flight. Number 8. Engine-powered equipment with fuel residue. Ever thought about checking your lawnmower or a chainsaw? Even if they're drained of fuel, equipment that uses gasoline or other flammable liquids, like small engines, camping stoves, or certain power tools, are often banned if there's any trace of fuel residue. The fumes alone can be highly flammable and dangerous in the cargo hold. Mike, 50, a small engine mechanic, once tried to check a camping stove. Even after emptying the fuel, they wouldn't let me check it because of residual fumes, he explained. They said it was a fire risk. Had to ship it separately. The FAA explicitly prohibits gasoline-powered equipment with any fuel residue in both carry-on and checked baggage. This rule is in place to prevent the ignition of flammable vapors. Even if drained, residual fumes can linger and pose a fire hazard. Travelers are typically advised to either thoroughly clean such equipment or ship it via cargo services that specialize in hazardous materials. Number 9. Arc lighters, plasma lighters, and torch lighters. While standard Bic-style lighters are usually allowed, with limitations, newer, more powerful lighters like arc lighters, which create an electric plasma arc, or torch lighters, which emit a strong, blue flame, are almost universally banned. Their intense heat and prolonged flame make them a greater fire risk, especially in an enclosed cabin environment. Daniel had his cool new arc lighter confiscated at a security checkpoint. I didn't even know there was a difference, he shrugged. The agent showed me how hot it got, and then I understood why it was a no-go. Stick to simple ones now. The TSA's guidelines specifically prohibit arc lighters, plasma lighters, and torch lighters in both carry-on and checked baggage. These lighters operate at much higher temperatures than traditional lighters and pose a significant fire hazard. Traditional disposable lighters are generally allowed on your person, not in carry-on or checked, but restrictions apply. Number 10. Hoverboards/self-balancing scooters. Despite their popularity, virtually all airlines ban hoverboards and self-balancing scooters, whether in carry-on or checked luggage. The culprit? the large, powerful lithium-ion batteries that power them. These specific types of batteries have a higher documented risk of overheating and catching fire than those in laptops, posing a significant risk to the aircraft's safety. Rachel, 16, was excited to bring her new hoverboard on a family vacation. "My mom called the airline, and they said absolutely no way," she recalled. "They told us about fires on other flights. It was a huge bummer, but safety first, I guess." Major airlines including Southwest, American, Delta, and United have explicit bans on hoverboards due to multiple incidents of fires caused by their lithium-ion batteries. The FAA and ICAO have issued warnings, classifying these devices as hazardous materials. This ban is comprehensive and applies regardless of whether the device is new, used, or in its original packaging. Number 11. Bear spray/animal repellents. If you're heading to the wilderness, bear spray might be on your packing list. But much like personal pepper spray, these potent animal deterrents are completely banned from both carry-on and checked luggage. They contain highly irritating and potentially incapacitating chemicals that, if accidentally discharged, could cause severe distress and a dangerous situation for everyone on board, including the flight crew. A hiker, Mark, 55, forgot he had a can of bear spray at the bottom of his backpack. TSA found it right away, he said. They explained that any irritant spray could cause chaos in the cabin. "I was just focused on the trails, not the flight rules." The TSA specifically lists bear spray and similar animal repellents as prohibited items due to the risk of accidental discharge and the potential for a chemical release in a confined aircraft. The strong active ingredients in bear spray are designed to deter large animals and would cause severe respiratory distress and eye irritation in humans, leading to an immediate emergency. Number 12. Wet cell batteries, like car batteries. Planning on taking your car battery as checked luggage? Absolutely not. Wet cell batteries, like those found in cars or motorcycles, contain corrosive liquid acids, sulfuric acid, that can spill, cause severe chemical burns, and damage the aircraft structure or other cargo. They are considered hazardous materials and are strictly prohibited. Yeri, 60, tried to send a small boat battery via air cargo for a friend. They immediately flagged it as a hazardous material, he said. "I had no idea how dangerous the acid inside was. Ended up shipping it ground freight." The FAA and ICAO prohibit wet cell batteries unless they are installed in a mobility aid, like a wheelchair, and meet specific safety requirements for spill prevention and containment. Otherwise, their corrosive contents make them a significant risk for both passengers and aircraft, leading to an absolute ban in both carry-on and checked baggage. Number 13. Firearms, without proper declaration and locking. This one seems obvious, but it's often mishandled. Firearms are never allowed in carry-on bags. If you want to travel with a firearm, it must be unloaded, declared to the airline at check-in, and securely packed in a locked, hard-sided container in checked baggage. Any deviation can lead to serious legal trouble and flight delays. An unnamed traveler in Texas accidentally left a small handgun in his carry-on. "It was an honest mistake," a TSA officer recounted, "but it shut down the line, involved local police, and led to federal charges." Always check and declare. The TSA enforces strict rules for transporting firearms. They must be unloaded in a locked hard-sided container and declared to the airline at the check-in counter. Ammunition must also be securely packed in specific containers. Airlines like Southwest and American provide clear guidelines on their websites for firearm transport, emphasizing the need for compliance to avoid severe penalties and ensure security. So, from the batteries in your gadgets to the lighters in your pocket, and even your trusty old thermometer, the list of banned items often comes with a fascinating, and often safety-critical, explanation. Understanding these rules isn't just about avoiding a hassle at security, it's about contributing to the incredible safety record that air travel boasts. At Fly Global, we believe smarter travelers are safer, calmer, and better prepared. By knowing what to leave behind, you're making your journey, and everyone else's, smoother and more secure. If this list cleared up some mysteries for you, hit that like button, subscribe to Fly Global for more essential travel insights, and comment below with the banned item that surprised you the most. Safe travels, and always, double-check your bags before you head to the airport.